Whenever we move, muscles are undergoing one of three different types of contraction. Either a concentric contraction, an eccentric contraction, or an isometric contraction. A concentric contraction is when the muscle is shortening under tension. For example, when the biceps contract as in a bicep curl, this is called the concentric phase. Eccentric is making reference to a muscle lengthening under tension. So the lowering of my arm is considered the eccentric phase or eccentric contraction. An isometric contraction means that there's tension but no change in the length of the muscle. For example, this. Or you can use the core exercise, the plank. When exercising or in everyday movements, we use a combination of all three contractions. For example, when doing a side raise, the deltoids are pulling my humerus up. So this is the phase called the concentric phase. The lowering is the eccentric. The eccentric phase is like putting the brakes on. If I didn't eccentrically control this part down, then the force of gravity would just pull me straight down. Now, if I went up and held it here, this will be considered an isometric contraction. Whilst I'm holding this position, other muscles in my body, such as my core, are also working isometrically to help me brace and stabilize at the midsection. When we are analysing movement, we always refer to the up and the down phase, or the concentric eccentric phase, so it's important to know. Here's a little hint to help remember what contractions are occurring during movement. Concentric contractions mean the load is moving towards the ceiling. So remember, C for ceiling. Eccentric contraction means the load is moving down towards the earth in a controlled fashion. So remember, E for earth. Our muscles are stronger eccentrically than concentrically, which explains why in a push-up and under fatigued conditions, you can lower yourself down but can't get back up. When we are training in the gym, we often reach failure or muscle exhaustion during the concentric phase. It is not uncommon to experience muscle soreness after training. Sometimes this can be experienced for up to 7 days post-session. This is called DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness, and it's due to the muscle disruption caused by the eccentric phase of training. During the eccentric phase, there are less muscle fibers being recruited, but the same amount of load. Thus, fewer fibers have to work harder and often get torn. Now, whilst this sounds bad, this is actually a training response that you want, because when the fibers repair, there's an increase in size and strength. Just be mindful of this, as when you're training beginners, you do not want to emphasize the eccentric phase of an exercise, as they will get too sore. Coach them to lower the weights using a controlled manner. For the advanced lifter though, eccentric training is a great overload technique.